We're going to do our normal thing and a little bit extended here. Let's get that COVID update. And my comment on this is hold your breath. It's a little bit hidden by the logo there, but it's hold your breath. So here's what's going on, and there's a lot to talk about here because I think it's going to be valuable. And by the 15th, looks like the goal of opening Hawaii on the 15th of October looks like it's still in play. It is so far so good. I haven't seen any signs that indicate that give me reasons to seriously doubt it. What else is what's going on with that, as we had mentioned last time, is the way it's going to fundamentally work is if you get a negative, if you have a test within 72 hours, and of course it's negative, there are no restrictions. What's interesting about that, I'm going to go into a little bit more details here because I think this is an important episode. United is really interesting. They're offering an instant test, 15 minutes, an instant test from San Francisco. But there is a but. Let me go into a little bit more details here because I'm sure that people are going to ask. And by the way, folks, if you're watching, please throw the comments in. I'll try to take your questions as we can. I'm sure this is going to bring up a lot of questions for people. Let's get to this next one over here. So this is a quick. I think this is a nice, easy to read kind of chart. If you're flying into Hawaii, there's like 1, 2, and 3. The third one is, no test. You stay for 14 days of quarantine. You obviously don't want to do that one. Number 1 is if you take a test within 72 hours and you have a negative result sort of in hand, you can travel through a form and through a process, and you've got no restrictions. You can, the moment you land is the moment you can get together with. The moment you land is the moment you can get together with one of these amazing people and find the house that you've been waiting for, right? That's that. And then the other one, the number 2 is a little bit of a nuance, is if you take a test within 72 hours, but you don't have your test yet, you do get you are quarantined in Hawaii until you get that negative result. And when you get that negative result, you are good to go. So that's a quick overview as to the way the testing goes. Let me talk about this. I think this to me really gives me a lot of confidence that I think this is going to happen. This is the San Francisco instant test. So this is United has got this going. And if you look at the details here, United, the yellow part over here, this is on United's webpage. It's going to be an interesting thing. First and exclusive, United for travelers from San Francisco on United are going to be able to take this United Airlines instant test, which is going to be a 15-minute long test, and that's all it takes. And apparently they're saying there it does meet the state requirements for Hawaii. So that's kind of to me, that was like a kind of a big, kind of a dead giveaway that this program is kind of serious. This time it's kind of really going to happen. Let's talk about the but. There's always a but, right? Here's the buts. So it looks like there are some complications here. So, Governor Ige has been saying that, we can only do 2,000 to 3,000 tests per day. And, that's not the, if we have, X thousand visitors per day that want to get all tested while they're here, we don't have that kind of capacity, and we don't want to take away our capacity to test local residents from visitors. So there's a little bit of what does that mean? Not exactly sure. Interestingly enough, the islands, the counties, Kauai and Maui, they want to do a double test. They want to do a test within 72 hours after arriving, and then do a test again in a few days. So that kind of raises all kinds of question marks. Kauai's mayor has said that, Maui's mayor has said that, and even Oahu, Kirk Caldwell has said, well, we'd like to do that, but we don't think it's practical. So there's a couple of questions that give me the but on this thing. Again, not enough to throw it off, but it's not 100%, not everyone's on board with exactly the way it's going to happen. Lieutenant Governor Josh Green, he's the one that I think gives me, he's kind of saying, look, we got to open this up. We've got to open up Hawaii for economic reasons, and he feels confident, that we can handle the increase in cases. And he's not really that confident about, that the double testing that the neighbor island folks are, want to do is really going to be something that's going to be practical. So, summary on this. is we'll know at the next show, because the show happens every 2 weeks. Next week will be the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. I may have the math wrong here. Our next show will be the 16th, which will be the day after. Looks like everyone wants this happening. Businesses here are at the breaking point, which is what the lieutenant governor has been saying. Hey, we got to get this thing going. We got to open it. Not everything has been figured out, and by next week we will know for sure. That's the COVID update. Does anyone have any stories about? We're going to talk about real. I want to get your folks' real estate update in a moment, but before we kind of jump into that, I've been talking for a lot. Anything you folks want to chime in about what I've said? Anything you want to add? Any stories that you've heard? Anything you want to say? Let's just go around real quick. Dylan, is there anything that you've got that you want to add to this? You're muted. Unmute your thing, but I let Red say nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you got it covered. Okay. That was pretty detailed.
Yeah, I had to get detailed.
It's better than any real newscast I've seen. That made more sense. So good job.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm a newscaster. Not Scott. Anything you want to add to this?
Yeah, I think American Airlines, if I'm not mistaken, is rolling out the same testing for Hawaii, and it looks like Hawaiian is as well. And I kind of see this as a smart move. The airlines need to do it. It's almost like, look, let us take this out of you guys' hands because you're not doing it right, and we need the revenue. So we'll go ahead and implement some kind of system, which I think you're going to see this rolled out more and more.
You're so right. I've been saying for the longest time that this problem is really for the airlines to fix, because Hawaii or not, the airline industry is dead in the water. If you're not, they're dead in the water. Heidi, is there anything that you've heard that you want to add to this?
Well, I'm just looking forward to more direct flights to Maui. Because in the past we've been able to fly direct from the mainland to Maui, and through this period of COVID, most people have had to stop over in Honolulu, and then it adds another leg to the journey. So I'm excited to see there's more flights coming our way, and some people here are excited about the reopening, and some people are a bit tentative, just wait and see. So I think we just all have to wait and see what it's going to be.
I would say wait until our next exciting episode. The truth will be revealed at our next exciting episode. Very true. So, Megan, do you have to be a resident of California? No, you don't. You just have to you have to go to the United website and log in through United for United side. I would think that Scott had mentioned American Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. Go through the airlines to get the detailed information, but my understanding is it's going to be done at the airport. Whether or not you're a resident of California is irrelevant. I would recommend everybody go through the airlines of your choice and find out what the exact details are. United's got there's a lot of details on those websites.